Hi there, this is Tech Chick, and I'm going to walk you through how to create a Clarity account in a SaaS version of Clarity PPM version 15.5.1. So in the SaaS version of Clarity, you usually have to have a portal to log into Clarity like we do here. Double click on your CA Clarity PPM icon and it takes you into Clarity. We're going to actually go into the development environment, which is here. We're going to go to Home, Resource Management, and Resources. We're going to click on the new button here. Make sure it selects Resources selected and Type Labor is selected. We're just going to make this a really easy account. It's going to be Tech Chick, T-Chick. So usually the resource ID should be the beginning of the person's email address because it's the email address that's going to log them into the application. I usually try to match the resource ID with their Active Directory ID or whatever system you're using, HR system. So in this case, whatever system you're using that generates the email addresses, definitely I would use the ADID here. And then we're going to take this, and this isn't really an email address, but we're going to pretend it is for the sake of this example. Let's just say, and then, well, actually, it has to be WSGC. So primary role. So at my company, we do it by department. So let's just make up any department here. So it's usually the name, the role dash department dash on if they're on site slash off if they're offshore or off site slash FTE if they're full time. And so in this case, Tech Chick is we're gonna do a contractor account just to so we could also make the rate matrix record, and I can show you all that. So let's just say that I'm a financial analyst and I'm on site. Person is a contractor or external contractor. Hire date, let's just say September 2017 on the Monday. Open for time entry, include it in the data mart. Let's say my manager is tester. I'm sure there's a test in here. I think there's a Harry Potter. There we go. Harry Potter is going to be my manager. For this, we're going to select. Now, we have a customization installed here that does a lookup based off what's selected from this. So whatever we select here is going to set our default account expense over here. This is a customization that does not come with Clarity out of the box. So in this case, we're just going to say I'm external labor, software development. We're going to say temp help here, external, temp help expense. Associate ID is 998007. This is a 6-digit number, so anything will work. We're going to do, after we click save, we'll do a refresh to update these account numbers. Here, we're going to say Harry Potter, who's probably not in the org chart. Nope. So in this example, we're going to leave this blank, but usually want to fill this out. Actually, I know who I can use. Trying to pick someone who I know is a manager, actually, and someone who's no longer here. There we go. And 5450, I think, was the department we picked. So if you, these are also little shortcuts I'm teaching you. If you type in the department number, you know it, it will pull up the path and you select the path. Same with organizational hierarchy. If you type like the first name, it'll show you all the available names in the org chart and you select your path. And click save. Now we're going to go here and click financial and set the financial settings. Our system is financially enabled. So we're going to say this person's located in San Francisco. Transaction class time for time entry. This should be external for external instead of EM for employee. show you the values here. We're going to select external. Click Save and Return. Click Save and Return. Okay, so that's the first part of it. There's 4 different screens that you have to go into when you're setting up an account. This is just the first one. As you can see, there's 2 different ones here. So we're going to select this one. And let's change your name to Chicky or something. That way it's not matching the other account. There we go. All right, now we're going to go to Administration Resources. This is the second screen that we need to go into. They're not active in the beginning, so you need to select all and filter for the last name. And we're going to select that resource. You want to make sure the username is set to the email address so that when they do log in, this will work correctly. So if it's single sign-on and you're using a portal to log into Clarity, you need to set the username to the email address. This is probably the case for all the SaaS versions of Clarity PPM. Make sure you set the status to active. We're going to change this to our time zone. Again, company, let's just say we're with Tech Systems. This will be the vendor. If it's a full-time employee, we would set this to the company name. External authentication needs to be selected. Click Save and Continue. Save and Continue. Now we're going to add them to some security groups. The first one is this one. Second one is going to be the Timesheets access. And then we're going to go to resource access rights, instance rights, and we're going to make sure they have the right for themselves to enter timesheets, and Tech Chicky does. So now we're going to go to, okay, so that was the second screen that we need to go to. Now we're going to go to the third screen, which is Manage Submatrix. Since it's financially abled, we're going to go here. So the thing I always do when I'm creating an account is I always make sure there's not a record that already exists for that account on every screen that I go to. So we're going to do the same here at the rate matrix. No, it didn't find it because it doesn't exist. So this date, from date, needs to match whatever we set the start date to. Hopefully I can remember that. I believe it was 2017, September 4th on a Monday. And then this end date, you can just set it out. I always go about 5 years out. So this stays good. That way this never expires. The resource class, we're going to say external. And then the resource here is going to be the first part, the resource ID. So it's going to be the first part of their email address and the resource ID that we set on the first screen. And then this should always be the rate that they're working at. So this is not the rate that the person's being paid. It's the rate that the vendor is being paid. Set it for all 3 of these values. Click Save and Return. And now we are going to go into the last screen, which is the OnDemand Portal. First, go to Users. And then we're going to look for this Chicky. I think it was E, actually. Go to Organizations. We know that account doesn't exist, so we're going to go to Organizations. Tenant is for admins, so we're going to the SAML only. You want to click on here and select Add User. I think it was, this should be the email address. Yeah, we already had it copied. So the first name is Tech, last name is Chicky. Click Save. Next, I'm going to copy the last name, and then we're going to go down to Manage Applications. Click on, again, the tenant is for admin accounts. We're not doing that. So click name of the company. Under production, actually, we're in development. Go into the development environment. click down actions and click assign members. Click on the available tab, post in the last name there and hit return. Now we're going to click in here and click update assignments. And now that person has an account. I can't actually log in with that account because that email address doesn't exist, but that's how you create an account successfully in Clarity. Thank you for joining.